today I'm here to talk about Sun and Aries, and if you don't know your sun sign, you can check out by googling astrotheme.com to find out your sun sign. Aries is one of the fire signs. The other two fire signs are Sagittarius and Leo. Sun is the ego, so it's the conscious level. It's how you express yourself. People who are Aries are usually born during the springtime. What happens to the earth when it's spring? Flowers start to bloom, the weather gets warmer. These people are very confident people. They're very show-offy in a sense. These people have a great amount of individual power. They really don't care about what anybody says. They're very action-oriented, so they take control of their life. They don't sit around and wait for things to happen. They love to be the boss. They have a very provoking nature. They will try and push. Usually Aries people have this attitude where if you can't stand the heat, please get out of the kitchen. When Sun is in Aries, it's exalted, so it's like it's taken to a different level. It's a very me, myself, and I. This can be very comfortable for the Sun because they don't get bogged down by other people because they're usually not seeking for other people's permission. Aries, they can do everything themselves. They don't necessarily need a cheerleader because they are their own cheerleader. They love fiercely, but they can also fight fiercely. So everything is fierce. Everything is straight on. They have so much energy that they will take it out in something that they do. These people are very quick to anger because they react so quickly. Even if they are happy, it's not like a subdued type of appreciation. It's more like a show their emotion in such an overt way. Even if they're angry, they'll snap. What are you trying to say? You know, very combative. They're not slow people. They walk fast, they write fast. If you email them and they hear it, they're gonna check it like that. They usually respond quicker than other signs. They really don't like when other people take their time and lag and have like no direction. These are the types of people who will get angry and honk on the road. They can be really impatient because you have now become another obstacle in their way. They're like babies because Aries is known as the first sign in the zodiac. Babies, when they get happy or angry or sad, it's usually quick. They don't hide it, they just say it. They'll show it. You'll notice when they are bored or just upset, they start to be really quiet. Because usually when you're around an Aries, the energy is so big, it's so expressive, that when that isn't there next time, you know something is wrong. These types of people can be super self-centered. They usually think of the I. What can I do? When they don't get their way, they sulk. They cross their arms. If there's like a long line and they're impatient people, they will tap their foot really fast. They'll show their irritation in some way. They don't have to throw a temper tantrum for you to know that they're upset. Because this is a fire sign, they can like almost toot their own horn. They can kind of make themselves feel confident just by believing in their own like ability. They don't look for validation from other people because they're so straightforward. They have a striking appearance and like you can tell that they're paying attention. They're so attentive. They love other strong people because they have that combative energy, so they like to match other people, but not to the point where they feel interrogated. It's more like a playfulness. They like to push people and they kind of want you to do it the same way. Like for women, these types of women usually want the manly man, that type of person. They don't want to baby people because they see dependency as a complete weakness. So they kind of don't want somebody who's like needy. Chances are they won't feel bad for you. They'll just be like kind of like repulsed. One downside is that they usually leap before they look. So they don't really think before they do. It's just the fact that they don't look at things from too many different perspectives. They only look at it from one perspective, and that's theirs. They're not asking for your opinion. So when you give advice, they don't want to hear it. Don't tell them what to do if they're not asking for it because they can get really angry. They're not afraid to stand out and disagree with someone's opinion, but at the same time, these people can come off very insensitive because they speak very bluntly about things and they don't show too much emotion about things. They are very passionate about things, but they're not so emotional with other people's like views. They'll take it in like it's all facts, but they don't believe it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like they don't really believe other people's opinions, or they're just like, oh, another fact, like they're reading something in a newspaper but they don't really care about it. It's my way or the highway type of thing. But these people can support the underdog. They can stand up for somebody that is being bullied. When you think about kids who are bullied, or just people who are made fun of, or just the underdog, they're usually bullied for being different. And Aries likes being different. So when they see somebody being ridiculed for being unique or different, that gets to them because they can appreciate that. So they will stand up for the underdog and somebody who is stuck. What they do not like, if you have the ability to take action on something and you're just like, oh, feel bad for me, and they don't understand people who play the pity role. They just feel like you have no drive because they don't do that. They're all about conquering. They're all about accomplishing. When they're blunt, they can come off mean, but it's just that they're trying to tell the truth. Because of their ability to keep going, they lack self-control, and they can look really undisciplined. If an Aries is out during the night and they're dancing and they're partying, but they can feel a stomachache coming on, or they can feel a migraine coming on, they won't stop and take care of it. They'll like keep going. Because even if they can sense something negative, they'll keep going. That's the lack of self-control, because they engage in the moment. They won't sacrifice much of their comfort for another person. Like if somebody wants to do something because they have to, they ask an Aries if they want to tag along or do the same thing, and Aries will be like, well, I don't really need to because so and so. So they won't really be like with others all the time. Like they'll do their own thing and be like, no, you can do your own thing. I don't really have the same situation, so I'm not going to do it. These people tend to be very one-sided because they are so about the ego, about the self. So a lot of times they know exactly what they want. Like with relationships, they're either in it or not. So they can be really abrupt, meaning they can get into relationships like that. It'll just happen quickly. And same thing with the ending of relationships. It'll usually just end also like that. These people are very aggressive, assertive, and very bold. Other fire signs might like this a little bit actually. They don't really understand subtlety or vagueness. They think that's stupid because they think that you are beating around the bush. Like, just get to the point. Keep it short, sweet, and simple. If they're not so extroverted, they'll feel outgoing within themselves if other people don't see it. But usually their friends or something, or usually people who they talk to daily will know this extroverted side. People who are their friends, you might know them to be super confident, maybe overconfident. If you're late for an appointment or a date, this can really piss them off because they tend to think, well, I made it on time, why didn't you? And I know this can seem like a really general thing because a lot of people can feel like this too if one person arrives early and another person arrives late. But an Aries person is like this in every other aspect of their life also. So like I said, even about the grocery store line or something like that, or just waiting in traffic. They're just naturally impatient and not understanding all the time of other people's situations because they only engage in their moment. So Aries is a fire sign, so it has to be hot all the time. You have to bring your A game all the time, especially if you're not hyped up about the same thing as they are. They don't like that. They think I just need to stay away from you because I don't think we're gonna click. They are so overt. They're not like other signs. They're very like, it's very easy to flirt with them actually. It's because they're not subtle. They make their intentions very clear. So when you speak that same language, they like it. They come off as naturally flirtatious because it is so blunt, it is so direct. So people think that they're cheap or trashy, but that's not true. That's just how they express their passion. They like to feel like the initiators, even in relationships as well. So if you can play that cat and mouse type of game, if you gaze at them, or if you speak in windows, Aries really love in windows. They really love that type of thing. They don't struggle with that type of way of speaking. If you wear something a bit revealing, they like it very direct, nothing hidden. Like I said, they're very passionate, so if you can't keep up, that's going to be a problem. They will lose their feeling for you really quickly. If they take showers, it's gotta be hot. If they like food, they want it to be hot and like particularly spicy. They love to eat meat. These people are, and particularly like red things, uh, like their favorite flavors will always lean towards like red type of things, like cherry, strawberry, red velvet cake, or red wine. They have an affinity for leather. Oh my goodness. They like straight lines with their clothes. Nothing too frilly, nothing with too much embroidery. Has to be like stuck to the body, very like skin tight. Anything they do, there's like a sense of fire. You can sense it from across the room, because if two fire signs are in one room, they can feel it. This sign is not for the faint of heart. They're very funny because the fire sign, they're very quick to think. Aries is a bold sign, so they'll put things in a bold way. They like to shock people because they want to make an impact. They're really protective of the people that they love. So their friends or family, if anybody hurts them, they're immediately ready to go to war. Those are the people that they love, and they don't like when people intrude, because with the me, the I, that's their stuff. You know, people are theirs. They're not so good with, I guess, words, because this is not that sign, but they'll knock you out. They're really action-oriented people, so they'll throw plates and everything. They can be super passionate, just as they are. They can get super angry. Everything has like a bit of fire in it. They're very driven by their own will, because the motto for Aries is, I am, therefore I am. If you didn't have coffee that day, they're like your substitute for your cup of coffee, because they're full of energy. They'll wake you up just by talking to you. So that was my analysis with Sun and Aries. If you're new to my channel, subscribe, and until next time.